Dear friends, the feeling of seeing parents filled with love and joy, surrounded by the warmth of family, especially towards their daughters. Today, I want to share a story with you. It was a cool autumn morning when I was jogging through a vast park. As I picked up my pace, I noticed a young American woman signaling for help. When I approached her, I saw what the problem was: a heron caught in a situation. There was a plastic bag filled with water tangled around its neck. The poor bird had been hunting the night before, and while bending down, it likely brushed the bag, which got stuck on it. I was about 15 meters away from the scene when I realized what was happening. But because I wanted to stay calm and steady, my movements were a bit slow. I wanted to maintain energy and approach the situation in the best way possible. The girl, however, was frantic. She immediately ran to the water's edge, trying to get to the heron. The bird, startled by the movement, flew up, but only for about 2 meters before dropping back down. It was clear that it was exhausted. Before I could stop her, the girl rushed forward again. But once again, the heron only managed a short flight before landing back down. The girl was frustrated, disappointed. She turned to the heron asking, "Why won't you stay still so I can help you?" I calmly explained to her that the heron had probably flown as much as it could. It was likely too tired. The park was large, so we might find it nearby. So we decided to look around. Sure enough, just a few minutes later, we spotted the heron standing near the edge of the water, a few meters away, hiding under the shade of a tree. It looked fearful, but it had stayed in one place. I turned to the girl and said, "You've tried twice and failed. Let me try now." She agreed. I knew that in this situation, it was essential to keep my energy calm, to approach the bird gently and carefully, not as an attack, but as an offer of help. I walked slowly, making sure every step I took was soft and deliberate. I was careful not to make any sudden movements. My goal was to communicate with the heron without frightening it, ensuring it understood I was here to help. As I got closer, my heart raced, but I reminded myself to stay relaxed and focused on sending love and calm energy toward the heron. Miraculously, when I reached the heron, it stood still. I could reach out and carefully remove the plastic bag from its neck. I was overjoyed and moved. It felt like a moment of connection and trust. I gently freed the bird, and it didn't resist. I called the girl over to show her what had happened. We both shared in the moment, feeling the relief and joy of having helped the creature. We watched the heron fly away, its wings spread wide, heading toward its home. It was free again, and the experience left us both feeling incredibly happy. As we sat by the water's edge, the girl remarked, "That heron, it's so strange. It allowed you, a man, to help, but not me." I smiled and explained, "It's not about being a man or a woman. The heron doesn't care about that. What it cared about was the energy, the intention behind the approach. It had to feel that it was being helped, not attacked. And that's what matters in any kind of interaction. Not the gender or the status, but the energy and intention behind our actions." This story teaches us something profound. As parents, when we see our children in difficulty, when they face challenges, mistakes, or wounds, our natural instinct is to help. But it's important to remember that the way we offer help matters. It's not just about fixing things or getting them to behave the way we want. It's about providing support in a way that they can receive it. We as parents have to step into a higher role, one of understanding and compassion. We can't always look at our children as just recipients of our control. Sometimes we need to accept their flaws, their mistakes, and their pain. If we fail to do so, they might seek refuge outside the family, where they might find false comfort from people who don't care as much about their well-being as we do. But the key to offering that support is to remain conscious of our approach. We need to check our own energy and intentions. If we come with a calm, loving heart, without trying to control or punish, we give our children the space they need to heal and grow. This is why it's important for us to practice self-awareness and mindfulness as parents. When we face our children's difficulties, it's easy to slip into the role of the corrector or punisher. especially when we feel hurt or frustrated by their actions. But remember, as parents, our role is not to punish, but to guide, to protect, and to love. We need to be the ones who accept them in their imperfections, who are there to help them through tough times, even when they don't understand everything themselves. It's not about demanding perfection, it's about offering unconditional support. As a parent, it's also important to remind ourselves that we are not perfect either. We are here to learn and grow along with our children, and sometimes, the best thing we can do for them is simply to be there, to listen, and to offer a shoulder to lean on, without judgment or conditions. The story of the heron is a powerful reminder that offering true help requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to meet the other where they are. This lesson is something we should carry with us in every aspect of our relationships, especially with our children. As we reflect on how to approach helping our children, let's remember that the process of healing or guiding doesn't always happen in a single moment. Just like the heron, our children may resist at first, especially if they feel vulnerable or scared. But our job as parents is to stay calm, maintain our energy, and continue offering support without forcing them to accept it immediately. They may not always be ready to receive our help, and that's okay. The important thing is that we are present, that we are available for them when they are ready. Think about this for a moment. If we're too focused on fixing the situation right away, we might miss the chance to truly connect with our children on a deeper level. Sometimes, what they need most is not immediate resolution, but rather the understanding that they are not alone in their struggle. They need to know that even in their hardest moments, we are there beside them. Not to judge, but to support, to help them find their own way, and to allow them to learn and grow at their own pace. In this way, we move from being fixers to being companions on their journey. Just like in the story of the heron, we can't force a solution on them, but we can provide a safe, loving space where they can feel understood and accepted. By doing this, we help them build the resilience they need to face life's challenges on their own in the future. But it's not just about helping them through the easy stuff. As parents, we are also tasked with guiding them through the tough stuff, the mistakes, the failures, the moments where they feel lost or confused. And when they make those mistakes, when they fall short of expectations, that's when our role as parents becomes even more important. We are not here to punish them for their mistakes. We are here to help them learn from them and to show them that they are still worthy of love and support, no matter what. This is where the concept of unconditional love comes into play. True unconditional love doesn't come with strings attached. It doesn't say, "I will love you if you behave the way I want you to," or "I will only support you if you meet certain standards." It says, "I love you because you are my child, and I will stand by you, no matter what you face or how you stumble along the way." This type of love allows us to see beyond the mistakes, beyond the frustrations, and to focus on the bigger picture, the person they are becoming. It allows us to provide the guidance they need without the pressure of expecting them to be perfect. And let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to love unconditionally. There are moments when we feel frustrated, when we want to demand more from them, or when their behavior challenges us in ways we didn't anticipate. But the key is to stay grounded, to remind ourselves that we are their support system, not their critics. Just like the heron, our children are doing the best they can with the resources they have at that moment. So, when our children face challenges or make mistakes, we must approach the situation with patience, understanding, and a willingness to see them as they truly are. Not perfect, but human, just like us. It's also important to recognize that our children are not just recipients of our love. They are active participants in this journey of growth. They will make their own choices, take their own paths, and sometimes those paths will lead them into difficult situations. But instead of stepping in to control everything, we should empower them to make decisions, even if those decisions come with risks or consequences. As parents, we often want to protect our children from every potential mistake or failure. But sometimes the best way to help them grow is by allowing them to experience the consequences of their actions. This doesn't mean we leave them to figure it out on their own. It means we offer guidance, support, and advice, but we also give them the freedom to make choices and learn from those choices. And when they do stumble, when they face challenges, that's when we step in with compassion and love. We help them process their mistakes, learn from them, and most importantly, we remind them that their mistakes do not define them. They are still worthy of love, and they are still capable of growing and becoming better. In many ways, the role of a parent is like that of a gardener. We plant the seeds, nurture the soil, and provide the right conditions for growth. But it is up to our children to grow into the individuals they are meant to be. We can't force them to grow faster or in a particular direction. All we can do is guide them, support them, and give them the space to develop at their own pace. As we continue on this journey of parenting, let's not forget that our role is not to control our children's lives or to mold them into the perfect version of what we think they should be. Our role is to help them become the best versions of themselves, to help them discover their own strengths, to guide them through their struggles, and to love them unconditionally along the way. Just as the heron was free to fly after it was helped, our children too need the freedom to be who they are. They need the freedom to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to grow into the people they are meant to be. And as parents, we can be there for them, not as the ones who have all the answers, but as the ones who offer unwavering love, understanding, and support. The journey of parenting is not an easy one, but it is one of the most rewarding. The love we give to our children and the love they give back to us is a bond that cannot be broken. It is a love that transcends mistakes, failures, and misunderstandings. It is a love that helps our children become who they are meant to be, and a love that will always be there for them, no matter where life takes them. As we continue this journey of guiding our children, it's crucial for us to understand that the road will never be linear. There will be ups and downs, moments of joy and moments of frustration. But through it all, we must remember that our role as parents is to be a constant, loving presence. We are not here to control every aspect of their lives, but to help them navigate the twists and turns with wisdom, patience, and unconditional love. One of the most powerful tools we can use as parents is the ability to listen. It's easy to think that we have all the answers, that we know what's best for our children, but sometimes what they need most is simply someone who will listen. Listening allows us to understand their perspective, to see the world through their eyes, and to connect with them on a deeper level. It also gives them the space to express themselves, to share their struggles and triumphs, and to feel heard and validated. By listening with an open heart, we create an environment where our children feel safe to share their innermost thoughts and feelings. And when they feel safe, they are more likely to trust us, to seek our guidance when they need it, and to open up when they're facing difficulties. This trust is the foundation of a strong parent-child relationship, one that can withstand even the toughest challenges. But listening doesn't mean we always have to have the perfect solution. Sometimes our children just need to vent, to express their frustration or sadness, and we can be there to support them emotionally without necessarily offering advice or solutions. It's important to recognize that, just like us, they need space to process their emotions, to make sense of their experiences, and to figure out their own way forward. There are also times when our children may reject our help or advice. They might push us away, act out, or refuse to listen. This can be incredibly difficult for us as parents, especially when we feel that we are only trying to help. But in those moments, it's essential to remember that rejection is not a reflection of our love or our worth as parents. It's a reflection of where they are in their own journey. They may not be ready to accept our help at that moment, but that doesn't mean they won't later. Our job is to remain patient, to continue offering love and support, and to trust that they will come to us when they are ready. At times, we may also struggle with our own emotions and reactions. Parenting can bring up a lot of intense feelings: frustration, disappointment, anger, fear, and it's okay to acknowledge those emotions. What matters is how we handle them. If we allow our emotions to drive our actions, we risk reacting in ways that are not aligned with the calm, loving presence our children need from us. This is why it's important to practice self-awareness and emotional regulation as parents. The more we can stay grounded and calm in the face of challenges, the more we can help our children do the same. One of the most valuable lessons we can teach our children is emotional resilience. This is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to learn from mistakes, and to keep going in the face of adversity. Emotional resilience is something that will serve them throughout their lives, helping them navigate difficult situations with grace and perseverance. And the best way to teach emotional resilience is by modeling it ourselves. When we show our children how to stay calm and focused in challenging situations, we teach them that they too can handle whatever comes their way. But resilience is not just about bouncing back. It's also about being vulnerable, about acknowledging when things are tough and asking for help when needed. As parents, we should never be afraid to show our children that it's okay to ask for help, to lean on others, and to admit when we don't have all the answers. This vulnerability creates a bond of trust and mutual respect, and it teaches our children that seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. The heron story has taught us many things: the importance of approaching others with love, patience, and understanding, the need to trust the process, and the significance of being present when someone, especially our children, is in need. But perhaps the most important lesson is the reminder that our children need us to be consistent, compassionate, and steady, especially during their toughest times. As we parent, let's keep in mind that our children are not perfect, and neither are we. We all make mistakes, we all have moments where we stumble, but these moments don't define us, and they don't define our children either. What matters is how we respond, how we handle the challenges, and how we show up for each other. Parenting is not about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about showing up every day, doing our best, and loving our children through it all. It's about being a safe space where they can grow, learn, and become the best versions of themselves, no matter how many times they fall or make mistakes along the way. In the end, it's our love, our patience, and our unwavering support that will help our children thrive. Just as the heron was set free after it received the help it needed, our children too will find their way, guided by the love and wisdom we offer. We are not here to control their lives, but to support them as they navigate the ups and downs of their own journey. And through it all, our love will be the constant that helps them soar. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Remember, we are all in this together, as parents, as children, and as a community. Let's continue to support, love, and learn from each other as we go through life's beautiful journey.